first arrived at Queen's Park 10 years ago, I was the youngest woman ever elected to my party, federally or provincially. At the time, I was also the youngest person elected in that parliament. If you look behind me and the women on the front lawn of Parliament Hill, over 100 years ago, they wouldn't have had this opportunity to sit at Queen's Park. And that's why I'm proud to be part of Equal Voice. And in my effort to work with them, we're trying to get even more women elected and supported in politics. One project in particular I'm excited about is our Daughters of the Vote. We plan on literally asking a girl from each federal riding to take her seat on Parliament Hill. We'll be able to do this to celebrate 100 years of women's engagement in politics, but just as much to celebrate Canada's 150th birthday in the nation's capital and my hometown. I grew up in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia, and I went to that same Roseland Theatre. And today I know I speak for the 9,080 people that still live in New Glasgow to say, to have Viola Desmond recognized for her civil rights work and her leadership, to do something that, there's a great quote by Margaret Mead that often says, never doubt a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, that's the only people that ever have. And growing up in Nova Scotia, we knew who Viola Desmond and Carrie Best were because they were trailblazers. And we have a significant black community in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. You know, I joke that there were 10,000 people when I lived there and grew up, and there's probably 9,000 there now. But the reality is, Viola Desmond needs to be taught in our school system more, that she needs to be taught nationally. And the fact of the matter is, she was Rosa Parks before there was a Rosa Parks, and this is a great day for Canadian women and for all Canadians. The Res Girls 64 hockey team captivated the nation's capital this past weekend, and their story is incredible. Coming from the fly-in Indigenous community of Fort Hope, some 30-hour drive from Ottawa, the team only learned to skate a year and a half ago. Their first practice was on ponds. They couldn't get any ice time in their arena. They had no gear, and their jerseys were too small. Their first tournament was in Thunder Bay against the boys. They endured horrible racism. As word got out about the team, gear was organized from a Markham high schooler, a Kingston family spearheaded fundraising, and that's how they got to the Canada Girls Hockey Tournament this weekend in Ottawa. As our Nepean Wildcats girls competed in a Kingston tournament an hour and a half away, our parents and our kids were determined that we would meet this inspirational team. Our Wildcat parents spent 24 hours moving heaven and earth to arrange a meeting, a practice, shinny, a few visits from NHLers Chris Phillips and Brad Smith, and a bonding luncheon just to happen between these two remarkable Pee Wee teams. We also, I might add, raised 10 bags of hockey gear and school supplies so they could take them back north. But we didn't want to just play hockey and leave it at that. We wanted to build relationships. The Ontario Chiefs said that they were happy to see reconciliation through sport. I couldn't agree more. Many languages was spoken between our players: English, Ojibwe, French, Italian, Russian, Mandarin. Many different cultures, religions, and beliefs. But for every difference they had, Speaker, their love of hockey and respect for their teammates endured and made them just a bunch of kids from Ontario. I saw great opportunity, just like the Chiefs did, for reconciliation. And Speaker, I know my clock has run out, but I ask for your indulgence as I name all of these remarkable children on the Res Girls 64 team: Daniel Jacob, Rianne Wapus, Tiandra Munias, Danilyn Nishpas, Genesis Sugarhead, Tiana Kiskite, Cadence Wapus, Angel Wapus, Mercedes Atlukin, Madison Atlukin, Madison Mis Atawajizik, Alera Wabano, Kalia Yellowhead, Aaron Campbell, Twyla Wazwa, Maria Wabano, Letitia Munias, Kira Wabano, Tanisha Raven, and their coaches, Leslie Campbell, Leo Atlukin, Susie Barton, Rebecca Jerome, Allison Norman, Dylan Mistuazij, Emily Moore, Christina Ushag. Thank you, merci, and meg wedge.